Alpha Centauri, probably one of the best games ever made. If we got Roller Coaster Tycoon sitting on that ladder on top of Mount Everest, Alpha Centauri is very happily sitting on the summit of good old Olympus Mons on Mars, only the tallest mountain in the solar system. Today we're going to be playing with just Mindworms. Why Mindworms? Well, they're kind of like the barbarians from the Civ series. This is technically a Civ game, let's be honest here. It's the follow-up of Civ 3, at least the science victory of Civ 3. We've gone into space, we've landed on Alpha Centauri, everybody's super pissed off with each other. So this is probably a good time to shackle the local wildlife and turn them into monstrous killing machines. So let's start a game and let's get underway. So we got a lot of options here in terms of factions. We could, for instance, go with the Lord's Believers. Yes, Christians in space. Yeah, that's the thing. We go over to free drones. I guess they are literal communists. Whatever you want to take from that. Morgan Industries, which is the exact opposite. Good old capitalism right there. Spartan Federation. University of Planet, one of my favorites. So powerful, so overpowered if played well. But we're going to play as Gaia's stepdaughters. Good old Deirdre Sky. Why Deirdre Sky? Well, she has a couple of bonuses attached to her, which will allow us to spiral out of control very quickly. On top of that, she starts off with the Centauri biology technology, which allows us to build a former right off the bat. What is a former? It's just a terraforming device. Nothing special. However, we kind of need to take a look at her stats here, because that's not really specified in the main menu, unlike in the later Civ games. If we go to our data links over here, we go to our faction profiles, we get a +1 to planet bonus, which means that we can capture Mindworms. Now, Mindworms, unlike normal units, don't actually use weapons. They use fear, utter terror to subjugate their enemies. And we're going to be using that because psionic attacks are the best attacks. First things first, we're going to build ourselves a forest. Why a forest? Well, forests are the best building in the game, or at least the best improvement in the game. Mines? Nah. Solar panels? Nah. Thermal boreholes? Nah. Trees. It's like Banished all over again, except this time we're on a different planet and we're not using firewood to improve our situation. We also found this here alien monolith, which is going to give us a +2 to every single resource that is available to us. And on top of that, we should probably get ourselves a colony pod. And in addition, in the mid to long term, we want to get the Weather Paradigm, probably the most important secret project in the game. It will allow us to grow exceedingly fast compared to everybody else. It's paramount that we get it. It's so important. So Mindworm is approaching the base. It will most likely go to this here fungal tile, because Mindworms will get an additional movement point whilst going through fungal piles. And this is actually good for us, because we're going to be getting quite a lot of these here bad boys. And it will probably start to attack the... Oh no, it actually moves into the forest. Maybe we're lucky. Considering we're Gaia, we could capture this Mindworm. Very similar to the Germans in Civ 4. You know, with barbarians. Kill a barbarian, take control of the barbarian. We've captured the Mindworm. Well, now we have a larger army. We basically don't need to build any units unless we absolutely want to. And that is pretty good, because it means that we can focus on more important things, like planting trees. We're going to move this Mindworm out there. It's going to be our explorer for the early game. And we're going to continue onwards building more forest tiles. And we just got a dimensional rift, which has duplicated our Mindworms. That is pretty lucky. So now we got 2 more Mindworms, and there's some fungal stuff over here, which means that we can move a little bit quicker. And Mindworms by themselves are exceedingly good. They can move incredibly fast as long as there is fungus around, which is the case right here. So this is where our exploit comes in. So for every single time a unit goes into combat, it will gain experience. So for instance, if we have this here Scout Patrol, which is our basic unit, if it goes into combat, there's a chance of it getting experience. and then it will get stronger. It has a better chance to, you know, win a piece of combat. Mindworms, like I mentioned, work a little bit differently. They have a different weapon modifier. They use psionics instead of guns. And that makes them very, very dangerous, especially if they get really big and really powerful. The bigger they get, the older they get, the more veterancy they get, the more powerful they are. If they manage to attack first, they're basically unstoppable. Now, right now, our Mindworm is at tier 2. It's not particularly strong. We could improve that. Let's hit patrol, and let's drag this patrol line over towards the other Mindworm. Hit the spacebar. And then go back to our base, and then select one of our formers, and then do it again. Oh no, it looks like our Mindworm has just turned into the largest Mindworm on the planet. We could do that again, actually. So how about we draw a line, and then go back here, and then go back here, and now this one has become super powerful as well. So yeah, Mindworms can be very, very powerful if you're not too careful, and basically, we now have the strongest standing army on the planet by only having 2 units. It's basically the equivalent of having tiger tanks while everybody else is still running around with spearmen. Whilst in the meantime, we're just happily building more and more forests everywhere. Oh look, and we capture ourselves a nice little spore launcher. Alright, we're going to move the spore launcher back to Gaia's Landing because there is a thing that we can do with the spore launcher, and we'll talk about that soon. If we click on our base, at least if there is a base somewhere out there, notice how we just automatically go to the base, but we don't actually, we don't get stuck on that particular tile. This means that if we click on the map and we find ourselves a tile that has an enemy base on it, we will actually not automatically go to it, which means that we will instantly know where everybody is, which is a nice little, you know, little helper. These fungal towers are very powerful. Sadly, my demon boil did not survive. And hello there! Who do we got? It is Sister Miriam. She wants some tech. That's fine by me. I will take your world map. And no, I don't like you at all. I would like you to leave my territory and be done with that. We just need to find a place for us to fall back to for a second, and then we'll just do a little bit of an invasion of Miriam's territory. She still thinks that the church is relevant on this rock. Oh my god, it's Lal. Hello, Lal. How are you doing? He's from the UN. He thinks that the UN is still relevant on this rock. So, according to the game, we are a little bit weak, but we are most definitely not weak right now. And we're just going to build a new base right over here. Why right over here, Aspec? Because it's a nice straight line, and I need to get my symmetry nut on. Okay? Yeah? Comprende? Ooh, Miriam, you're over here now. What a delight. So, Miriam's now over here, and she feels that this is a good idea. So, I'm just going to go and set this guy to patrol. So over here, maybe over here, and over here. Oh look, my guy is now super strong. Ain't that just unfortunate there, Miriam? No invasion for you. Oh look, another target, and it's dead. As you can see down here, we get a fungal bonus, we get a demon boil bonus, our strength bonus, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So yeah, we are exceptionally powerful right now. Just like it should be. And because we got the weather paradigm, we can spend some credits to make the terrain higher. So, Alpha Centauri in general has a whole bunch of cool stuff when it comes to geoforming. We can geoform the entire planet. So we could, for instance, build a mountain range down the middle here, and everything on this side would become incredibly dry, not being able to generate any sort of nutrients. Which means that this side will become very, very wet, generating all the nutrients. Which means that anybody who has built a base on this side is not going to have a good time. Alright, so our Demon Boil is so nicely invading this place over here. Look at that. We have seized on high with our Demon Boil. We get a free tech out of it because we've clearly killed off the enemy. And we have eradicated the believers, and they've escaped in a colony pod. Well, that's number one gone. Let me just have a quick caffeination over here. Now, Egberts. And, you know, it's I do a lot of research in the middle of the night when it comes to these exploits and stuff. So, and you know, the coffee really does keep me going. You know, it's the joys of the Mocha Master really do help. So Lal has pissed me off a little bit, because being, you know, the sole representative of the United Nations on this planet, and he's already seen that I've been moving my troops into his territory. So what we're gonna do is we'll just you know, get another demon mind boil for free. And the good thing is, these sending in probe teams. So probe teams are specifically designed to take over your units, like literally infiltrate them and turn them over, like spies, basically. I don't like them. And that's why I have decided to go for Mindworms, because Mindworms can, in fact, not be taken over. So we're just slowly but steadily going to completely annihilate every single one of his bases, because I don't like his face. So apparently, Peacekeepers think that we were a murderous abomination just because we killed 20,000 of their people. You know, it's called culling. We've got overpopulation going right now. That planet, it's not good for the ecology. We can't have all this stuff. Look, I understand that you're annoyed by it and all that, but there's limitations to this sort of thing, right? Like we can stop here, or we can just continue going. And I'm not even the strongest faction on planet right now, so you know, the buck stops here, and we're just continuing to roll into your bases. Oh no, we've taken control of the merchant exchange. It's one of the secret projects in the game. So yeah, that's one down. 4 to go. So we've captured UN headquarters, and it's got all this disgusting terraforming stuff on it. I don't want any of this stuff. I am, however, just gonna build forests over it. Just pile forests up. That's what we need. And in the meantime, our demon boils are gonna get ready to move on towards our next target, and that will be the joy of Morgan, who's right here, Morgan Industries. How you doing, buddy? I hope that you've got enough money to do anything, because you won't be able to do anything, because I am way too powerful at this moment. Oh look, another demon boil. This is so stupid, I love it. Well, Morgan, I hope that you had a good time, because we're about to kick the door down, and you're not gonna like it very much, because your entire population is most likely going to be infested with mindworms very, very soon. Let's hope they don't manage to take down any of my demon boils just out of sheer luck, which would be unfortunate. Thankfully, I just captured a new one, so yeah, I guess it's time for the demon boil parade to continue. Oh look, there's another one. It's just, yeah, I'm literally getting free units. Free units are great. Well, we managed to siege down Morgan Industries quite rapidly here, so we'll just take that, and we'll take synthetic fossil fuels to go with that as well. Not that we're going to use it or anything, but I guess it's still a nice little addition to the collection. We'll just build some stuff here. Did I have anything special here? Hap complex? Not that great. Still, though, it just means that we have yet another avenue for us to do things. Tell you what, Morgan Industries is a nice place. Don't like it very much, though. So instead, what we'll just do, we'll just completely annihilate the base, because it does not fit within the pattern of my base building setup. So yeah, sorry, Morgan, but we're gonna need to, you know, put an end to your people in that particular area. I hope it's not too upsetting for you. And we've killed 30,000 people. That is just unfortunate. Still, though, you know, it's all for the good for the planet. That's something that I'm all for. And in the meantime, we're just continuously growing, adding more forests, you know, all the good stuff here. So we got environmental economics, which will allow us to build the tree farm. The tree farm gives us more resources for forest squares. Oh yes. Oh yes. Forest squares. What have we been building again this entire time? yes. Nothing but forests. And that right there is going to be incredibly helpful, to say the least. Oh, look, another demon boil. You know, to some players, colony pods filled with mindworm. You know, to some players, colony pods. For some players, landing pods with mindworms inside. God damn it. For some players, pods with mindworms inside of them are awful. For me, they're awesome because it means it gives me another chance to get a bigger army. Because mindworms are great. They're super overpowered at the moment. Well, and that is Morgan. Looks like 2 down. 3 to go. Oh, look, we got our... It looks like the commies are here, so it's time to just break the treaty and just go for a full-on attack. I'm not particularly interested in what they have to say. I got so many mindworms out here that we can basically do whatever the hell we want, which is exactly what we're going to be doing. Whatever the hell we want. And that mainly implies that we're just going to go and take all these probe teams and roundhouse them a little bit. Nah, it's probably a good term, I guess. But we still don't know where Zarkov is. According to the game, he is the strongest faction on the map, so I'm guessing that he managed to get an island all for himself and went completely bananas over there. But we haven't actually seen him, so we don't know where he's hanging out. But sooner or later, it will probably pop up. Oh, look. Yeah, I know, right? These mindworms, this giant wall of writhing worms coming in your direction. That must be a terrifying sight. Well, it looks like the commies have a little bit of an uprising of their own. You know, you gotta have. It's not a communist society without an uprising here and there. You know, revolutions, they don't start themselves. As we were just throwing a bunch of these mindworms into the grinder. And yeah, it looks like they got some drone uprisings. That is just unfortunate for them. Let's hope that we don't need to just throw everything into the grinder here just to get through. Alright, so we're gonna do a little exploit here. Notice how we have a spore launcher available. Let's right click on this bad boy and do a long range fire. Now the long range fire is available only for launcher units. How about if we select this guy? Oh look, the long range fire is still available. And my mindworm just did a long range fire. That is just completely unfortunate. What's the action again? F. Well, everybody, it's time to press F for our good commie friends, because we're just going to siege them into oblivion.
Let's see, is its own world.
Oh my god, that's so many drones. Oh man, they are not happy over there. You know what they would also not be happy with? Well, you know, wiping that off the face of the earth. 110,000 free drone citizens have been annihilated. Oh, 20 years of economic sanctions. Oh, please don't. Oh, please don't. So yeah, at this stage, you can basically do whatever the hell you want, because all your units are gonna be rather supreme, to say the least. And, you'll just have no problem rolling over anybody. All you gotta do, hit that P button, click, space, and space. Boom. Got yourself a veteran unit, especially with the mindworms. That is delightful. Also, of course, the joy of the stack with the spore launcher in this particular case. Well, you know, we just want to fire somewhere. Oh no. Now everybody can be artillery. Anybody can be artillery, while still having their action remaining. So you can have a stack of, say, 15 units, activate artillery, fire artillery, and still use those units. Such joy. Alpha Centauri, still one of my favorite games of all time, and this is a super gamey way of playing, my lord. And of course, Dow Egberts for making sure that I can stay awake at night for that delicious bean juice. But in the meantime, we're gonna go wrap it up here. Until next time, take good care of yourselves, and as always, each other.